Well, welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here to start this week's Fan Fridays, leading off with a battle from Chris. I actually don't know what to make of that team. Like, Porygon 2 is a cool Pokemon. I unfortunately feel that's been really mainstreamed, so don't really know what it's going to be up to. Is it going to be a part of Trick Room? Most likely not when you're looking at the Tapu Koko and then the Aerodactyl. Also, we have a Trevenant there, so that might find some combos. And overall, I guess just throwing, like, good Pokemon. Like, we have Aerodactyl for speed and damage, and we just go into Porygon 2 for the reliability. So this could just play out pretty well in the end. Porygon will go and Trace Blaze. I don't think it's going to find much use for that. And there we go. So it will be the Mega Aerodactyl. I'm actually a really big fan of Mega Aerodactyl. Like, the Pokemon has huge amounts of damage, really crazy speed, but it needs to have, like, super effective hits. It needs to have, like, big coverage, or else it can drop off a little. But Tough Claw is pretty crazy like that. So Skydrop. That actually just worked out really well. So Aerodactyl dodges the hit, and that's like the perfect scenario. Alright, I also love Skydrop on the Aerodactyl. I've been pushing this since like Mega Aerodactyl came out. So Lunala actually going to turn, ooh, that's an interesting Solar Beam, and then that's going to be Skydrop coming in, and Incineroar gets freed. Porygon, no! That's wrong! That's just wrong! You're not allowed to do that to people! Oh, man! He just eliminated Incineroar's turn! And he's going to keep doing it! Also, Night Days from the Lunala right there, not going to do anything. Oh, and then he's oh my goodness. So yeah, it's like, as long as Porygon 2 can tank it out, I mean, I guess the idea is wait until the opponent catches on and see how it goes. Oh, wow, and that's just bad RNG too. So you have a lot of opportunity to do some free, stupid things. Like, imagine, Lunala flinches to that, Incineroar gets KO'd, Porygon gets a free turn to heal if it took damage. So yeah, you can just do solid amounts of damage and then finish it off with a Rock Slide, or also just provide damage for itself. And now we get to see the malicious Moonsault. Oh man, Skydrop double Trick Room. I've never seen that before, and it seems like something that I should have seen or figured out at this point. And then Porygon 2 has a Charge Beam, because if you're going to get free turns like that, you might as well find an opportunity to get some stats. So I guess you just Rock Slide it again, no reason not to. Maybe Lunala gets flinched. Maybe if Porygon's rocking a Shadow Ball, that'd be pretty nice to see. And as long as Aerodactyl's alive, you can just... Oh no, he has Tapu Koko! Tapu Koko's a fast Skydrop Pokemon. It's gonna happen again. Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, I don't even... Oh no. I guess you just kind of... You at least like 1 for... And if Trevenant also has the Trick Room, you just like 1 for 1 and you just keep going until things happen. That's so wrong. You shouldn't be allowed to do that to people. Oh, that Ice Fang hits big too. Like, that's Zygarde. Zygarde's a bulky defensive Pokemon. So that's a solid amount of damage right there. Lunala tries to charge up that Solar Beam again to hit the Aerodactyl. And I wonder what you do in this situation. Like, Rock Slide, that should be enough. And then Lunala will go down. So yeah, this is that just turns the battle right there. Huh. And then Hariyama comes in. So Rock Slide's not going to be big there. However, if you Skydrop the Hariyama, that's going to be pretty nice. And Aerodactyl's actually going to go for the Ice Fang. Wow, impressively terrible RNG this game. So Porygon 2 will keep tanking those outrages, but that's confused Zygarde, so it might just die, and then Porygon 2 has to recover anyways. Hariyama, though, if it connects with something, that's going to be bad news for Porygon. So there goes the close combat. And Porygon survives it. Man, Porygon's bulky. And that's going to be defensive drop. So, just interesting awkwardness right now. Aerodactyl actually chooses to go for the Ice Fang again. Will connect it on Zygarde. Feel that Rock Slide might have been... I don't know. I don't think Rock Slide would have carried Zygarde because it's just so tanky. But, split damage, no Tough Claws. You know, it just kind of snowballs from there. Heavy Slam from the Hariyama onto the Aerodactyl, though, will be enough to KO. And my idea behind that is like, okay, if it's confused and risking flinch, that means Zygarde just might not have a chance to do anything that turn. and then you can hit up the Hariyama, or you could also just Skydrop Hariyama, go for the big damage, and then do whatever. Tapu Koko comes in. I think the shiny Tapu Koko is actually a bad idea for this one if it's supposed to be doing like Skydrop combo for the shenanigans. But it does have Dazzling Gleam, so it can do big special attacks. Okay, never mind, it's more supportive. Okay. I was wondering if you're actually going to try to like make that physical attack of Tapu Koko kind of count, and then run like Jolly with it. But no, it's just Skydrop's there for the support, and then when the opponent's low, Dazzling Gleam for KO, chip damage, or double KO, or double lockdown shenanigans. Even then, Thunderbolt's still a crazy amount of damage overall. So that was pretty mean. You just don't get to move. You just Yata-Garasu the opponent just like that. This looks fun. And also a bit more refined, because like if you're doing all these Trick Room setting shenanigans, if Aerodactyl goes down or if like something goes wrong and Trick Room's still up, you bring in Alolan Marowak and then you win. So that sounds fine by me. Let's go and watch how this battle ends up playing out. But that's just filthy, and it makes so much sense. Like you anticipate the risk in doubles, but at the same time, if the opponent doesn't know what's about to happen, and they get like the double Trick Room and stuff, and there's a miss involved and whatever, it just works. And Porygon 2 is tanky enough for it to count. So let's watch how this one ends up working against the opponent with Shiny Legend. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good already. So Rayquaza does have the airlock, and Arcuno has pressure, and then Aerodactyl is going to have pressure, and Porygon's going to trace, and it grabs the airlock, so not much is going on right now. But Aerodactyl comes in with that Mega Evolution, and like, is it just at that point that you just go for it in Rock Slide? But that's most likely going to be a Mega Rayquaza. Yeah, there it is. But Articuno, that's a 4 times down to a 2 times, and then Ice Beam. You just Ice Beam Rayquaza with the double Rock Slide, and that could be a pretty effective turn. So are we going to go full aggro, or are we just going to ruin the opponent's day? Because you can just make it to where Rayquaza never attacks. Oh, this is like the most unlucky battler I've ever seen. Articuno goes down. Rayquaza doesn't take that damage. Critical hit might have mattered. I don't know. It's still a 2x, but Rock Slide split damage on Legendary. It's questionable. So Draco Meteor actually going to be targeting the Porygon 2. Porygon 2 tanks it very well though. And now Rayquaza, it's weakened on that front, and the Ice Beam will land. So yeah, Rock Slide mattered. That sucks. But now we have Mewtwo on the field. And how are we going to deal with the Mewtwo? Because, I mean, if you can anticipate that, hey, the opponent probably wants to focus down the Aerodactyl, and you Skydrop the, I was thinking you Skydrop the Rayquaza, but this still works as well, because either Rayquaza misses, or it doesn't do a lot of damage to Porygon 2. Porygon 2 gets the KO finish, sets up the Trick Room anyways, so I guess at the -2. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways you could have done this. You could have gone for the recover, or you could just remove Mewtwo from the game. That works as well. And that's going to be a Flamethrower. Also, if Aerodactyl has Protect. If Aerodactyl has Protect, that gets just a little extra disgusting. So, Protect, Rock Slide, Ice Fang, Skydrop. Because then, Porygon could not Trick Room, recover on a turn like that. Aerodactyl protects, Trick Room to reset, and then you could double Trick Room while still finding time for free damage. But also with that Trick Room reset, you're getting chip damage onto the Mewtwo, you're making sure the Rayquaza goes down, and oh, critical hit on the Mewtwo. Interesting. So yeah, unfortunately, like, Aerodactyl gets the awesome ability, but it doesn't really get to make the most out of it. I feel like Life Orb Aerodactyl is stronger than the Mega Aerodactyl when using, like, rock-based moves, because Stone Edge, Rock Slide do not make contact. So that might be an interesting little breakdown to look into, and then that is going to be a Solgaleo. So Aerodactyl comes in with that Rock Slide onto Mewtwo, lands, Solgaleo, takes a very small amount of damage, but in the end, things are dying. Like, you can at least lock out something and then keep yourself in favor. So that's going to be Charge Beam onto the Alolan Metagross. Bulky, no special attack boost, so it's just going to take a little bit more, but actually the Iron Head onto Solgaleo. Oh man, just keeping that flinch hate going, aren't you? As Solgaleo sets up a Cosmic Power. That could get dangerous, but if Porygon 2 can actually gain some special attack with Charge Beams, that's going to be pretty good, and then Solgaleo is still going to have a pretty difficult time. But overall, there's not amazing coverage to get rid of this Solgaleo. So yeah, at least Porygon 2 is kind of keeping up on the defensive front. Solgaleo will have to make an offensive turn, but decides not to. That's going to be the Marowak. And then Marowak should make Solgaleo's life very difficult. Like, Thick Club, Is Porygon 2 going to go for Trick Room? Because that's another thing you can do. If you're doing a switch out, you just switch in Marowak with that Trick Room on that safe turn. Trick Room would have been a lot less unfortunate turn right there. Because those are just the things that you see. You know, Tapu Koko throwing out a Thunderbolt when there's a Marowak on the field. Happens. It happens. But this is still just like looking to pile as much damage as possible into the situation. So that's going to be Solgaleo with another Cosmic Power. So really looking to stall this one out, even though the game is well beyond over. And Marowak with a Flare Blitz. So comes in, just does massive damage, super effective. Thick Club, Alolan Marowak, Stab, GG, just like that. So there we go, guys. Kind of showing the different ways that this these battles can play out, and even with really terrible RNG on those misses. Alright, so I was curious to the actual stats and the breakdowns and stuff, and actually, like regular Aerodactyl with a Life Orb versus a Mega Aerodactyl, it's not too big of a difference. That Life Orb normal Aerodactyl is about 10% more on the attack, but at the sacrifice of about 10% less on the speed. So there is a decent trade-off, and that's Tough Claws, but then regular Aerodactyl just has Rock Head, Pressure, and Unnerve, so honestly I think we can feel like the missed optimization, but also the understanding of Aerodactyl being a glass cannon, that it has some of the highest speed in the game, and still a respectable amount of damage with such a high amount of speed, but then they do, like, ridiculous things with the Charizard by comparison. Like with Mega Charizard X having a really substantial amount of bulk, but also getting Stab on the Tough Claws. We don't have that with the Aerodactyl. Like, okay, we have Fly, kind of, but that's nothing compared to a Flare Blitz, getting Stab, and then Tough Claws boosting, and then it's like more immediate damage. Same with the Dragon Claw and stuff, so more damage per turn overall, and it is at the cost of speed, so just kind of showing the trade-offs right there. And then Aerodactyl, yeah, those are going to be these stat differences. So interesting little breakdown. It makes you wonder, like, yeah, if Aerodactyl got a buff, that'd be pretty cool. But at the same time, imagine buffed Aerodactyl with the strats we just saw, or also using it for Rock Slide support. That is a 150 potential base speed, solid damage Rock Slide flinch Pokemon, has the ability to just shut out opponents with that Sky Drop in different kinds of ways. So it is a pretty interesting and substantial Pokemon, but at the same time, slightly lacking, and then you can still do some really cool things with strategies. So if you guys enjoy the battle, I'll see you in the next Fan Fridays.